Speaking of Connecticut, Bob, I don't want to break the train of thought away from Bill Walton, but
Well, yeah.
looks like the Lakers are looking to hire
Yes,
early.
yes, they're trying to get Danny Hurley, and my friend Steve is best friends with Danny, and he played. But um, I don't think if I'm Danny, I wouldn't leave because he's got a great thing going, and LeBron's going to leave. Uh, I'll break it on my show. I don't care. LeBron's friend called my brother Tony, who's on this show, and said LeBron wants out, and he's leaning either Philadelphia or the New York Knicks. So, and he wants to bring somebody with him, preferably Kevin Durant. And yes, all you other guys at ESPN don't know this because you're not smart enough and you don't know enough people. I used to work there, so I can say that. Um, but yes, that is true. And he said he wants to win another title and he wants to leave. He's out of LA in my mind. So if I'm Danny Hurley, I wouldn't even think about going there because that's like going to a train wreck if LeBron leaves. If Anthony Davis be the only one, and then he'll get mad when his contract's up. He'll split. That's what'll happen. So, um, but yeah, I mean, well, getting back to Bill now, he was the most amazing person, and he tried to help me get an NBA job once, and he sent me this, and I wish I had it. I would read it. He sent me this email and was like, Bill, can you help me out? The stars are shining on you. The universe belongs to you. You are the new God. Yes, you will do it. I have faith. Everybody has faith. The trees have faith. And he's going on and on. And my brother looking, my brother going, what? What? And he goes, I will help you. You cannot miss. No one can defeat you. You are a brave man in battle. Signed BW. I mean, it's just like so wild, and but that was Bill. That was Bill. I remember one time I went to see your guy. I went to see Shaq, and he was with Miami in '06, and I didn't have a ticket for the game. And I'm like, you know what? I've had so many free tickets here. I'll just go to the window and pay for it. Then maybe then and it's a playoff game, no less, against the Nets. And I go, maybe the Nets will have a $10 ticket. Sure as heck, they had a $10 ticket. And I bought it. So I'm sitting there and I'm sitting upstairs and I go downstairs and I'm walking around the lobby. And this guy comes up, he's like 19 years old. And he looks at me and goes, hey, how's it going? And I go, hey, how's it going? And he went, remember me? I went, no. And he went, you went on the Eagles camp last year. I go, yeah, I go every year. And you know Andy Reid. I go, yeah, because Andy was the coach there then with Rick Burkholder. He goes, you and your brother were there. I go, right. He goes, you gave me an extra pass and you got me on the field. You had one extra one. He goes, now what do you want? I go, well, what do you do? He goes, I work for the Nets. And he showed me his pass. And I want to say hi to Bill because Bill Walton's doing this game. He took me downstairs. Goes, Bob, come down, come down. And we're sitting there talking. And Bill, we were laughing. He was the most amazing guy. And as a player, when he got to play with Larry, we were great as it was. And and once he became our sixth man and Kevin started, because Kevin McHale was our sixth man originally. And I love Cornbread Maxwell. He's a legend. And weirdly enough, he gave out the trophy to Jaylen Brown in the last round when he won the MVP of the conference finals in the East. He was amazing. And people don't know how great he was. He was Larry Bird's other forward. And but I just was like, when he got there was no stopping us because not only could he shoot, not only was he tough, not only did he not care, he was a tremendous passer. And he played every position growing up because he grew up slow. So when I play guard, shooting guard, point guard, forward, shooting forward, power forward, and then center, and he had all those skills to boot. He was amazing. And when he came, I said, bring on the Lakers. I'm not scared of you bitches anymore. Bring it. Come on, Jamal. Let's go. And turned out that year they never even beat Houston Rockets, which has made it easier for us. We beat them in 6, the Rockets. Twin Towers, because Ralph Sampson was a joke. And what makes it funny, they were calling Ralph Sampson at Virginia the best player ever, better than Bill Walton, and Bill got to eat his socks alive in that final. There was no doubt that is the greatest team of all time to this day. Sorry, Mike. No. Take your 72 wins and go. Sorry, Golden State, Curry, 73 wins. Take it and go. You guys didn't even win it. No. That team is so great. If you play anybody, I dare anybody to play NBA 2K and use the 86 team. My friend does it. He hasn't lost but one game in like 3 years using that team. And every generation, he would play different players. and they can't beat them. Something I already knew. They were 40-1 at home, 50-1 in the playoffs. They only lost one game the whole freaking time at home in the playoff and the championship. And the night they lost to the Portland Trailblazers, which is ironic because Bill won a championship in 77 with them, upsetting Dr. J's 76ers. And I said to somebody that night after they lost, I go, they ain't going to lose another game at home. And this was in December. And they didn't. They didn't. When Bill, I love Bill. I love everything he did. I love the fact that he was perfect for the Celtics because he was all about the team when he was on the court. When he was off the court, who knows what he was about? But when he was on the court, but he was a lovable guy, and I miss him. And I knew he was sick. I wasn't allowed to say anything because my brother told me 3 weeks before. And that is true, guys. I'm not making that up because I got connections at UCLA, obviously, because my brother. But yeah, he was the best, and I definitely miss him. I'm not going to go to a Grateful Dead concert. I'll say a few prayers for him instead. He wants everybody to go to the concert, which we got the message, right? He wants everybody to go to the concert to honor him because he's not going to have a memorial service. But and he apologized to Coach Wooden, who I met as well, who was the greatest, most wisest man I've ever met. I didn't meet King Solomon. I'm not that old yet, but yeah, and I loved Coach, but he did drive Coach nuts a little bit. But he used to apologize and call Coach and told me he loved him every day. After he did it, he realized he was wrong. And he goes, I blew that 1 year in 74. We could have won. But they did win the next year in 75. And one fan ran up to Coach and went, thanks for not letting us down. Yeah, okay. You just won 10 out of 12. And 7 years in a row, I don't think we let you down. But that's fans being fans,
I wonder if that fan is still alive and
yeah.
said that.
Yeah, want to come on my show.
Good times are good. It's great, and
I'll discuss that with you. Yeah,
those times can pass, and it can be hard to get them back.
Right.
So Bill Walton, in my opinion, one of the greatest orators of all. I mean, when he spoke, it was just poetry in motion, and I'm not the biggest West Coast basketball guy because Syracuse doesn't really play those teams. But if he was doing a game, I was tuning in just to hear what he had to say. And I, for years, wanted Bill Walton to be an announcer for a Syracuse game. And finally, this past season, he did the Maui games. Unfortunately, we were terrible, and except for Chaminade, we got
a chance to get in and say hello to him.
Well, it was in Maui. I didn't get out there. I couldn't make it out to Hawaii. But,
right.
I was glad, and just to see him, and then he passes this just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing that the last season he was even able to do it, that he was able to do a Syracuse game, and he knew our history, brought up all the greats.
Let me tell you something.
He was fantastic on the mic when we played.
He might have been a little out there, but he was incredibly smart, and he knows a lot about a lot. Oh yeah, I mean, he just wasn't. He might have been. You thought he was blowing smoke. No, he actually was. There was a meaning behind that somewhere because he was pretty damn smart, and I mean, who else would eat a cupcake with the actual candle still on it?
A creative genius, of course.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. But what's funny? I was watching a clip of him doing a base. He did the Chicago White Sox game, and he's like, and he goes, "Well, we're doing a new job," and that's what the head announcer. And Bill goes, "This is a job," and he goes, "No." He goes, "Also, I don't know much, but I just know you use a bat, and somebody throws a ball," and it was so funny. Everybody was laughing. And he goes, and the defense has the ball in their hand. I don't get that. He throws it. The pitcher throws it. It was funny. He was so funny. He was great. And honestly, I kid you not, the NCAA Finals record he still has, 44 points in a game. He was 10 for 10 from the foul line, and what was he, 17 of 19 from the field, I believe. It was something crazy like that. It's never been broken. It's never been done, and it never will be done. The man was amazing. He was the best player I've ever seen in college. And you're going to have I will debate anybody on that in any sport, on any podcast. And you'll lose that debate because you can sit there and give me all these dumbass stats you want, but I saw them both. And I see the guy you think is great. And I can tell you right now, I could look at a guy one time and know if they're great or if they're not. It wasn't even close. These guys aren't even close. I mean, he was amazing. There's no doubt about it. And we miss you, Bill. We love you.
Yeah, he's going to be sorely missed. That's a major
Yes,
loss for
that's
everybody.
right. That's
So
right.
our deepest condolences to the Wallen family and all his
And
friends and acquaintances that had the privilege to know him throughout his life.
yeah, and I had that privilege, and he was really nobody had the privilege better than my brother, and he loved my brother. And what weirdly enough, one of my friends, Steve, actually got to talk to him a few weeks before he got sick, or well, he was sick, but he was doing a game. And he goes, I know Tony Spino. I know, because you know those guys. I love them. He goes, he used to tape me up, take care of my leg, and this and that. Tell his brother I said hi, and he was a great guy. He's just the best. He was the best.
100%, Bob. So let's look into this finals matchup a bit more here.
Right.
Are you confident still that the Celtics are pretty much gonna, I don't want to say dominate, but be in control of this series?
Yes, I've never doubted it. I have no doubt. People are freaking out. People are like, Dallas, oh, Kyrie. Yeah. And last time Kyrie went up there with Durant and Harden, how did he do? We beat him four straight. And we're better now. We have the center we never had. I'm not even worried about this. And people are like, oh, Luka. Look, Luka's great. And here's another thing. Luka actually proved my point, what I said before. This league is so easy to play in. It's such a joke because Luka played all his life and against the toughest comp since he was 15 worldwide. He gets to the NBA and he's like, oh boy, this is going to be tough. 2 games in, he's like, this is the easiest league I've ever played in. This is so easy. This is the joke. They don't play D. And let me tell you, he's a great player. But we have like 7 great players. We have 3 superstars. We didn't have Porzingis the whole time. He's 20 points scorer. Tatum and Brown are over 20 points a game as well. We have Derek White, who started as our guard off the bench, our 6 man, who's starting now because Marcus the Curse Smart is gone. He was garbage. Grant Williams is gone. He wasn't that great. Nice guy, but he wasn't that great. We are so stacked. Drew Holiday, UCLA, brother, right there. We he made that steal, and then like Ricardo's like, oh, you found my gun. No, flop. It was a perfect steal. If that was such a thing as a textbook steal on a guard, that was it. Um, like he does so many little things you don't even realize. And then we have Peyton Pritchard, who I love. Only he scored 100 points in a game in high school. Even LeBron didn't. I saw him with his crazy look and the dunk and the whole thing on the cover. No, I loved him in Oregon. He used to use us. He killed UCLA. I wanted him, and I was glad when we drafted him. I loved him. I wish he would go a little more to the basket instead of try to pass like in the lanes when he has an open look. He can dribble. He's got a great touch. He never misses a foul shot. We have Luke Cornett. Yeah, Knicks. Thanks. Yeah, you get. You know what? He picks and rolls. He does all the old stuff. He cuts to the basket at the alley oop. He never misses a foul shot. He's 7 foot tall. He blocks shots. He grabs rebounds. The man is solid. We have guys behind him. They got a guy named Quinta, I think. He's from Portugal. He's put up 20 and 15 his whole career. And he can mix it up with these guys. He's a 7 footer. He's big. He don't even play. We could play him at any given time. And then we got Brissett, the guy from Toronto.
Syracuse.
All he ever does is go, give me the ball.
O'Shea Brissett.
Yes. All he ever does is get out of my way before I poke you in the head with my elbow. And then takes the ball with the other one, with the other hand. He's we're deep. We're not going to lose. Yeah, Luka. And Kyrie, the one thing about him, supposedly he's on a, I don't want to say, he has a better mindset right now, supposedly, but that could crumble in a minute. I don't know about him. And even if it doesn't crumble, there are nights when he's invisible for as great as he is. He has disappeared at times. Luka don't disappear, and even if they both don't disappear, they can get 36 points, both, like they did in the last game. They both have 36. They can get 72 points. Big deal. We'll beat them like 120 to 72. Big deal. We score 120 points a game. We'll beat them 121 to 72. Like I care. I could care less. Because the rest of the teams only averaging less than 5 points a game. I looked it up. They ain't gonna do crap. That's what they've been averaging in their series so far, 5 or less.
So basically, for the in your opinion, for the Mavericks to have any chance, Kyrie and Luka have to be Supermen.
They would have to get like 50 each. I mean, and that's not happening because we could throw so many guys at them. Defend. I know, like people are like, weirdly enough, I talked to somebody who is friends with Kyrie's brother, and his brother said, well, no, this is going to be a second one. We're winning. No way. People think Boston's going to win. You know what? A lot of people don't think Boston's going to win because they're on this Luka bandwagon, and the media is pushing it. They want it, and it's because they hate the Celtics. It's all Boston. They hate Boston, and especially that because they won so much. And you know what? Sorry, we're winning this time. And I even said when I did say this in the middle of the year, I'm like, we're so good, we can get one of our stars hurt and still win it. That's how good we are. And Porzingis got hurt, and we're winning. We have not lost a road game yet in these playoffs. And even though we lost game 2 in the first and second round, I saw the look on Tatum's face. He had that look like, yeah, you guys think I'm going to choke. Screw you. You could see how hard he was playing. And now there seems to be a rivalry between him and Brown. This is good because that'll make them try to outdo the other. Competition in this case is good. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to lose again because they know what all the idiots are saying. You're a choke. No, really? You're a choke? Okay. Well, you ever think we never had a center? Did you ever think that Danny Ainge never did that? He just won all these draft picks like a mad scientist. Oh, I got them all. Oh, I'm going to put all the things in the tube. Oh. No, you take the good ones from the Nets because they're our farm system. We get Tatum and Brown. They even end up losing Lillard. You know, they did on one of those picks. He ended up with Portland. But with all the other ones, you package them and you get the center. He never got Anthony Davis. He even could have gotten Brook Lopez when he was young. He never did it. We needed a big man that scored a lot of points. Finally, he's out. Brad goes to the GM's office. We get Porzingis. That's what we needed, Rob. He's the X factor. We're going to win, Rob.
So I agree with you. I do believe the Celtics are going to win. I just saw the Mavericks, who should have swept the team that just beat the champs in Game 7 on the road, right, dominate. So I think they're going to be throwing some haymakers at the Celtics, and this is going to be a battle. In fact, I'm curious. I'm going to go on a limb and say the Mavs are going to steal Game 1 tonight on June. Here we are, Thursday, June 6th. I'm going to call it now. The Mavs are going to steal Game 1, Bob. Do you agree? Disagree?
No, I disagree. They could possibly win Game 2. My phone's messing around here. They could possibly win Game 2, but Boston, Game 1 at home, they're going to be fine. And people can say, well, you know, they had a long rest, and they did, but the Mavs have also had a week off. So I just think they're going to go out there, and I really do. Game 2, I'm worried about a letdown. They've seen a letdown, and a couple times already in Game 2. And then Game 3, all they have to do, Boston, is win one game in Dallas, and this thing's over. And because they're just too, and they can do it. Like I always tell people, great teams win road games, tough road games. That's what makes you elite. Anybody can win at home, even the Knicks. Well, maybe not them, but everybody else. You know what I'm saying? They win at home, but can you do it on the road in the big pressure moment? That's what, and Boston can, and that's why I'm not even worried. So you're going on a limb, okay?
I wish on a limb. Now, are you sticking to your prediction of Celtics in 6?
I really wanted it in 5. I still think it can be 5. Whether it's 5, 6, or 7, I could care less because as long as we win. Now I'm just talking like from 5. But I do believe, I think it's going to be, the only reason I pushed out of 5, because Anthony was pushing me, my brother. And no, I think it's going to be 5. I really do. I mean,
so are you calling it here on the show as 5?
Yes.
Because I'm going to stick with 6. Celtics and 6.
6?
You're switching to 5.
I am switching to 5 because I do believe we can win the first 2 games, and I do believe we can win one of the games in Dallas. I do. But like I said, it doesn't matter if we do or not, because they just can't beat us at home. We just got to win the home games now. That's all we got to do. And I don't care if we win a 5, 6, or 7. It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I'm gonna go 5. I feel pretty good about 5.
So, Bob, we're going to do a mid-round recap here of the finals. Hopefully, get John and Tony back on.
Right. I don't
I'm
even
going
know
to
what
be curious to what John has to say in defense of his Mavericks that you basically believe don't have a chance. So,
right.
stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in a couple days once this thing gets rolling. We'll try to do the same with the hockey as well. Bob, closing thoughts before we wrap up for the
Yeah, a
afternoon.
couple. One, I'd like to say thank you to the people that I met in City Field, the family. They were wearing their gear. Am I right?
According to the comment, they were wearing their gear.
Yes, I met a couple of people, and they, believe it or not, I signed autographs, and I couldn't believe that. That was shocking to me. They watched our show and they love it, so it's definitely growing. And thank you, kids, and thank you everybody for that. And please send us some pictures that you took. Because I know I took pictures with the family. Send them because we'll put them up, and us, signing autographs and stuff. Um, and I do.
The sports show with Bob Spino at gmail.com is
Yes,
available. So if
yes.
you want to send any pictures from the game with Bob, we can put them on the Instagram page. Again, the email is the sports show with Bob Spino at gmail.com.
I also have a couple people that I definitely want to bring on. One was Hal McRae, and he was a player with the Kansas City Royals, and his son was Brian, who was a player with the New York Mets. And I met this guy who's his best friend, and he liked me a lot. He's going to bring them both on, and we're just going to talk some baseball a little bit down the road. I want to do that, and I know Cooperstown's coming up, so we should do that around then. The induction's coming next month. But yeah, I definitely want to do that. So everybody watch, please. We need it, and we like and subscribe. That'd be great too. And tell all your friends, tell everybody. But and I got a bunch of people I'm going to have Tony bring on too. We're going to start kicking more people on.
So there it is. So everyone, you know the drill. Like, share, and subscribe. Spread the word. Tell them about the sports show with Bob Spino. We're going to be here. We're going to get guests on, and we're going to keep rolling. So with that, signing off for the sports show with Bob Spino. This is Rob. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Good night.